Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a very interesting tool from a company called NexTool. If you guys are not familiar with NexTool, it's a company that puts out a lot of different types of multi-tools and like small carry tools, EDC tools, and things like that. So they've been around for quite some time. I actually think I might have a review on one of their smaller keychain tools. If I do, I'll go ahead and link it up here if you guys are interested in seeing that. But I visited their booth at SHOT Show earlier this year in January, and I was looking at a couple of their different multi-tools and things like that, and I saw this one here. This was actually called the Gemini multi-tool, and it was one that really spoke to me because I immediately thought of a really awesome use for it. Now, I do not carry a multi-tool with me on a daily basis, or if I do, it's not on my person. It's generally like in an EDC bag or something like that. But I do have this big, clunky multi-tool, no name brand, something really cheap at my desk at work. And that's kind of the one that I grab, if I need, the pliers, or if I need, a Phillips screwdriver or something like that, that's on there. But it's like my dedicated office multi-tool. Now, obviously, the things that you would be doing in an office setting, just again, in your regular office with a multi-tool, it's not going to be the same thing that you're going to be doing with, a multi-tool where you're out and about, maybe working in a rougher environment or something like that. So this particular tool, I thought that it would serve a great purpose as an office multi-tool. And it's because of one specific feature that it has on there that I've never seen in another multi-tool before. And I'll go ahead and show it to you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. So again, this is the Gemini multi-tool from NexTool. This is the box that it comes with. As you guys can see from the front right here, it just looks like just a regular multi-tool. In the back, you do have some information. And then on the side right here is where things get a little bit interesting. As you guys can see right there, this is a side profile of the tool, and you have this little thing sticking up from the top right there. And in the bottom there, it says electric screwdriver. Yep, you read that right. It does have an electric screwdriver built into it, which is really, really cool. So let me go ahead and open up the box, and we'll take a look at everything that is inside. So going with the theme of it being an awesome office tool, as you guys can see here, it comes in this little pouch, really nice and compact. Again, it's not a sheath or anything like that you're going to put on your belt. It's just a pouch that the tool lives in with the different accessories that come with it. And this is perfect to throw into your desk at work, but also if you wanted to carry like in an EDC bag, you can also do that. Now, this tool is going to serve a great purpose for maybe somebody that works like in an IT field, somebody that works with electronics and things like that. I would definitely recommend this particular tool for that. So as you open up the pouch here, you have two sections. On the section on this side right here on the right, you have the tool itself. And then on the left here, you have a little sleeve with a couple of the different accessories. First one is you do have a USB-C charging cable. So that is included, which is really nice. We'll set that off to the side. The next one is you do have a user manual. And this is really cool because it does give you a breakdown of all the different tools that come on the Gemini multi-tool here. So if you want, I'll go ahead and put this on here, and if you guys want to pause and kind of read what the different tools are, there you go, you can see that. And then on the opposite side, it just talks a little bit about the pliers. It talks about the knife that it does come on the tool, and then the electric screwdriver as well. So I'm going to leave this open up here so I can reference it if I have to. And then last but not least is you do have your bits. And this is a really nice quality branded bit holder. As you guys can see, it says NexTool right there. And you do have a great variety of bits. You have everything from a Phillips head screwdriver, a larger kind of medium size, and even a tiny little Phillips screwdriver. This is perfect for like your eyeglasses and stuff like that. I really like the fact that they included that one. And then you do have a couple of Torx bits all the way down to a flathead screwdriver right here. The bits feel nice and good quality, and even the holder itself, it's kind of rubberized. Now, if you notice some of those cheaper multi-tools, some of those cheaper bit maybe screwdrivers that come with smaller bits like this, it's sometimes kind of hard to get those bits out of there. They seem really stuck in there. This one really easy to get them in and out, but they do stay in place, which is really cool. And then it even has this little, almost like a lanyard loop right there. So if you did want to attach this to something else, but again, it fits really nice in the sleeve right there. So we'll set that off to the side. And then the tool just kind of sits in there like that. It doesn't have a sleeve or anything like that in there. So that's just something to note. We'll put this off to the side. So at first glance, you can see that this is a little bit on the larger size as far as multi-tools go. Now, just for size comparison, I do have a multi-tool here. This is the Leatherman Wingman. Now, this is from the Leatherman brand. Is I would say kind of like a medium-sized tool. It's not one of their larger tools, but a lot of people kind of know what this particular one is. So just again, for size comparisons, you guys can see, again, this is going to be a slightly larger tool, but I think that works in its favor because of some of the different features. So I'll set that off to the side there so you guys can see there. So again, you do have this kind of rectangular, very angular shape, and then you have that little kind of area sticking up from the top right there. That's going to be your electric screwdriver right there. Now you do have your buttons right here to activate the screwdriver, so forward and backwards. And I'll go ahead and press this so you guys can hear what it sounds like. So again, it's an electric screwdriver. When you press that, this section right here is going to spin either forward or backwards. And then the bits, it is magnetic, so the bits do just kind of drop in there. And it is magnetic. And now you can go ahead and use that and screw, so it'll screw in, it'll screw out. And they stay in place, which is really nice. But because of the larger size, it does give you a lot of purchase on there. So if you did have to work on something, you're not going to have to be fumbling around with something really small or anything like that. So again, first time I've ever seen an electric screwdriver built into a multi-tool. And I think, like I mentioned, for electronics, people that work in electronics and things like that with smaller little things and whatnot, I think this type of tool is definitely going to come in handy. Now, underneath the buttons right there, you do have a little LED, which is going to be your charging indicator, and then you have your USB-C port right there. Now, again, because of the way that I was envisioning using this, I'm not going to have to worry about it being, a really dirty environment or something like that. But if it was, I would almost want to see something covering that USB-C port right there, just so you don't get anything in there. Now, one of the other things that I did want to mention, and it's probably one of my biggest gripes on this tool, is how sensitive these buttons are. Just by holding it, I tend to press the button by mistake. So again, not a big deal, but that is going to wear on your battery. So again, that is just something to know. Now, all the tools on this multi-tool, the ones besides the plier itself, are on the outside of the tool here, and they live in this section right here, because obviously the rest of the electronics for the electronic screwdriver are on this side. There's nothing on that side. So taking a look at the tools, first and foremost, you do have a pair of scissors. Now, these are pretty nice. They do have good tactile feel. As you guys can see, they are not the smallest scissors, so it's not something small like you would find like on a Swiss Army Knife Classic, but they're good enough to be able to handle pretty much anything that a pair of scissors this size would. Next to that, you do have a Phillips screwdriver. So again, besides the electronic one, you do have a manual one. So there it is, pretty nice reach on that. Next to that, you do have what they're calling both a pry bar and flathead screwdriver. It is at a little bit of an angle, so that's where they would say the pry bar. And then obviously it is a larger size flathead screwdriver. Then you do have your can opener, bottle opener. They even call it a box cutter. I think they're just trying to say that you can pretty much use this for different things. They might be considering it a box cutter because of the angle, and it is a little bit sharpened right here. So again, it's both a can opener and a box cutter. And then all these tools, none of them lock. So again, that's just something to keep in mind. But because of the usage, you're using it against the way that it opened in the scissors, and then everything else you would be using it in this kind of open position right here. So again, that's a pretty normal option. So again, none of these tools, the ones that I already showed you, lock, but you do have right at the end here, you do have a knife, and there it is. You have a larger nail nick right there to be able to get it out. And then the knife does lock. It does have a locking mechanism. It is a liner lock right there, so that is really cool. I like the fact that they did include the ability to lock the blade there. You have this kind of sheep foot looking blade right here. I'm not exactly sure what the metal is on this, so if anybody has any experience with that, please let me know. But one thing I do want to note is, especially when using the blade, you can either use it by gripping it on the side right here, or like most of us will probably do, is grip it up here. And then I find myself once in a while when I'm doing that, I tend to activate the button of the screwdriver, which is what I was talking about earlier. Again, I almost wish this would be either if it maybe had a lock on it that you had to engage in order to activate it, or maybe recess it a little bit more so it's not so easy to touch or to press. That would probably be a good thing. But the blade is it's really nice there. It's gives you a lot of purchase when you go ahead and use it. And then again, you do have that liner lock. Just push it off to the side, and then you're able to close the blade. And then if you go ahead and open up the tool right here, you're greeted with the pliers. You do have needle nose pliers. You have regular size pliers right there in the middle. You do have a heavy wire cutter, and then a thinner wire cutter in the bottom right there. So you have pretty much all the different features that you would need out of a pair of pliers. And then it is also spring loaded, which is my favorite way of my pliers to be, which is good. Again, because I'm going to be considering this more as like an office multi-tool, I don't foresee myself doing anything too heavy with these pliers, but the fact that they are there, and then again, these are really long, so you do get a lot of purchase, so you can go ahead and crank down on it if you really had to. And in the plier, when you do have the plier open right here, obviously the buttons for the electric screwdriver are on the inside, so I don't have to worry about activating those as I was showing you earlier that I was doing when I was using some of the other tools that are on the outside. It folds up really nice. So I think this is a really awesome package. What they've done with the tool itself, the bit holder is really nice. I can't get over that. And then obviously they do include the USB-C charger right there. As I mentioned, for what I'm envisioning using it and for what I recommend using it, I think it's a great option. Obviously, if you guys are interested, I will leave a link to the NexTool site so you guys can, take a look at it further in depth if you want to, or if you want to go ahead and order one for yourself. I think it's right around the $60 mark, but don't quote me on that because, prices do change. But it is, pretty affordable for what you're getting, especially because you have the ability to recharge the electric screwdriver. So if you ever found yourself saying, man, I have a multi-tool, I have a screwdriver, I wish I had two in one, or I wish I was able to consolidate the how much area or room it takes, especially if you're going to be carrying this in a bag. So if you're that type of person that works in either the IT field or an electronic field and you're always on the go, this is a really nice, small, slim form factor for this tool. Again, you can slide the bits right in there, your charging cable, and then the tool itself. And then it closes up really nice into this carrying case here. I think you can't go wrong with getting yourself one of these. So there it is. That is a look at the Gemini multi-tool from NexTool. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.